Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway, a podcast about the DCAU and whatever the hell I want it to be about. My name's Mary.
And my name is Luke. My voice went weird for a second.
Mine went too southern, I think. How are you?
Apparently I'm dying.
You're not dying.
No, I'm not at all.
You're just...
No, it's just my voice is being weird.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of talking.
What are you talking about?
Can't tell you. It's
I've been... I'm going to tell people what I've done today because are you going to ask me how I am?
well, okay, sure. How are you?
I'm all right, actually. The sun is shining. I have caught up on the TV shows that I watch, which are two, I think. I think at the moment I watch two episodes that come out weekly, or two shows that come out weekly, which is 911 Nashville and obviously Grey's Anatomy. I say obviously because if anybody knows me, they know that I like Grey's Anatomy. Got to do that. I am a little pissed off though because I thought I had 3 episodes to watch of that show, but I only had 2. No, I only had 1. Oh, even worse. And then I stripped the bed, which is Gilly's favorite thing. But when I did not put stuff back on the bed, the disappointment in his face broke my heart.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
So-
I'm changing the bed sheets, by the way.
A riveting day then.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't change your bed sheets once a week and you sleep in your bed every single day, change that, please. I read something that like some single men who have like the ability to like wash their stuff, single men in like their early 20s that have just got like out of college or whatnot, only wash their bedding like once every 3 months or something.
Sometimes less frequently.
Oh, good Lord.
Mhm.
Oh, good Lord. If there's anything I will change, it's going to be the bed sheets and the colors of every wall at least 3 times in the place that I live. Shall we get to what we're going to talk about? Do you have any news?
I think I mentioned this on the Totally Schway Flip Side episode, which is, the podcast all about your comments
Mm-hmm.
that you've left on this particular podcast. But old Toddy Mac has struck again. Todd McFarlane Toys. They're making the most of the DC license as they near the end of it.
This is the end.
Yes. So he just released a 7-inch bust of the Batman Beyond cowl
Mm-hmm.
in the animated style. That's readily available on many websites. It was I forget exactly how much it was, but it was something like
20 pounds? 20?
no less than that. It was like $15, some in that region.
I don't know. I don't know what money is right now
Yeah, tell me about it.
because it changes every single day. Like when I say money, I know what money is, obviously, but I don't know the
exchange rate.
Yeah, because it changes every freaking day.
Sometimes wildly. But yeah, because it was so inexpensive, you said that I should order 2 just to make the postage worthwhile. So I did. So yeah, just a reminder for everyone that doesn't necessarily listen to Totally Schway Flipside. If you like Batman Beyond, you can get a Batman Beyond bust to go in your collection, have it sit on your desk. Also, the Build-A-Figure wave with the Clock King from Batman the Animated Series, that has just come out. Mine shipped... when did that ship? On Friday, I believe?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I wasn't asking you.
I thought you were asking me. I was like, I don't know.
No, shipped on Friday, so it's a Batman, a Joker, a Zatanna, and a Mad Hatter. They each come with a piece of the Clock King. If you get all 4 of them, you can then build your Clock King figure, and there you go. That's probably going to be the last Batman the Animated Series figures from Todd McFarlane, because my understanding is that their license for DC content runs out in the end of the summer. They could surprise me by squeaking something else out quickly, but I don't think they will.
So nobody told me about a new collaboration that I found out about this morning.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yes.
So there's this bag company. Like, I don't know what kind of company. I think you would consider it to be a bag company, but it's like a toiletry bag company.
Mhm.
And they're called Stony Clover Lane, because I always thought they were just Stony Clover. But Stony Clover Lane, and they did something with Barbie. I love the Barbie. And it has one of my favorite prints that like Barbie did. It's like the 90s style. So in case you guys were wondering, I did get something from
Mm.
it. And yeah, I'm sure everybody is so super excited about that. Yeah.
There they are. I can hear them breathing heavily with anticipation
Hmm.
and excitement.
By the way, I collect pouches from there's a place called Space and K over here, and I collect them in all of the colors, and I use all of them.
She does.
Yeah, they've got, and not just for makeup. I use there's one that I have for charging cables, uh, EDCs. Um, I want to get another double one so I can put it in an emergency bag. Hold your hands up if you have lived in the South and you know that you know what an emergency kit is, and you're currently looking at new weather radios
Mm.
just in case a tornado comes through.
Mm.
All right, let's get to the cheese of this sandwich. See what I did there? I'm trying new things, and I think it's failed, but
Well, we'll,
at
we'll
least I
make it a
did it.
thing. Let's get to the cheese of the sandwich.
We've got the lettuce out of the
Yeah, get
way.
that lettuce out.
Okay, let's get to the cheese. Today we are talking about an episode of Static Shock.
Yes.
It is Static Shock Big Leagues.
Yes.
And I have thoughts, questions. I
Okay.
don't have concerns.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Would you like to give a quick synopsis?
Yeah. Okay. So the episode, "The Big Leagues," is the first episode of the second season, and it is the time when Static Shock officially crossed over with Batman from Batman the Animated Series and the New Batman Adventures, officially making it a DC Animated Universe show. Now, Static Shock was originally its own separate thing. That's why it had a different art style, was much brighter, had more simplistic backgrounds.
Different beats.
Different beats, yes, yeah. Even though several of the DC Animated Universe team worked on it, people like Alan Burnett was a producer, Dan Reber directed. Um, there were others, I'm absolutely certain of it. But this was the first time it became official. And so the brief synopsis is that the Joker comes to Dakota looking to recruit the Bang Babies and bring them under his influence.
Yep.
And then Batman turns up to stop him and teams up with Static to capture them all. That's basically it.
Right. It is.
And we should probably note that Mary's only watched a couple of episodes of Static Shock before this, and we did the first episode of Static Shock for an episode of the podcast, didn't we?
Mhm.
And the general consensus was that you didn't really like the show very much.
No, but I'll explain
Please do.
later. Or actually, I'll explain now. It's not that I don't like the main character, because I really like the main character. I love the idea of the main character, all of that. It's just, it's not a show that's geared toward me.
Mhm.
I lived in that time period. I was actually going to school probably in that time period. I was probably like in high school or junior high,
Yeah.
more like middle school for Static. And I wish it was as wholesome,
Hmm.
and it wasn't. So yeah. I just, it's really not my, it's not my jam.
Mhm.
The jam's in it though. Pretty good.
Did you find the inclusion of familiar characters like the Joker, Batman, and Robin make this episode more enjoyable to you, or did it make?
Okay, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I did not like this episode.
You didn't like it at all.
No.
Why not?
Because, okay, I'm going to go through my notes as you take a drink of water. Okay, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes and a couple of pictures that I drew. Sketches, if you will. First note, Uncle Jay.
Right.
Uncle Jay's in it. Goes on to the second note, which is hand in hand.
Do you want to elaborate on?
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes along with the second one. So the Joker recruits teenagers now.
Right.
And so when the Joker comes in, he's trying to get some fresh faces, you know.
Mm.
So he goes to this like young group of kiddos, and yeah, and they use some language to speak to each other that I know some of it, but because I am not a youth, some of it I did not know. And it's got that Streak. Is that his name?
Hot
Hot
Streak.
Streak. I hate that guy. Pull up your trousers.
Fred Durst wannabe.
But it's not the fact that it's because, like, having, like, baggy trousers, that's fine. Because, like, if your boxers are showing, okay, whatever, do what you will. But he's not wearing boxers. He is wearing long johns, it looks like. I know they're not long johns, probably, but it looks like they're long johns underneath his jeans, and he's got them all pulled up. It's a fashion statement. Is it a good one? I don't know, but I do not like it because it looks like his jeans are like 5 sizes too big. Yet they don't fall down.
That's part of his superpowers.
um. So having the Joker in this seems a bit random.
You think so?
Yeah, it seems really random. Because I think like things like something like someone like the Riddler, I think would have been, I mean, having the Joker in here was cool. But I think I don't know, it's just one of those things where you put a big character in it so you can try to make it seem more appealing to other people.
I mean, that may very well have
Yeah.
been the intention. My understanding is that the studio executives suggested that they start the second season off with a big bang by crossing over with Batman, and that was all on board for it. So,
Was he in I don't remember him being in Batman the Animated Series.
what, Static?
Yeah, he wasn't.
No,
That was long gone by then.
Yeah, it was
But
finished for years.
yeah, he was in Justice League.
Later on, yes,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah.
But I just don't.
Are you are you likening this to that joke in the Family Guy Simpsons crossover where the Family Guy characters get sued by the Simpsons and they decide to just not go along with the outcome of the lawsuit and they say, yeah, like they're going to come here.
Yeah. Oh my god! And how they always have Bob's Burgers on there.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's so I don't get it because I haven't watched Bob's Burgers. I am getting closer and closer to probably watching it eventually. But it's like it's always, and then the guy's just like, yeah, and then it's yeah, it's like that.
But I mean,
but you have to understand, I from the get-go, Static was not my favorite.
No.
But I like again, I'm going to keep saying this. I love the character of Static. The character itself is such a great idea. The family, great idea. It's just the antics.
You didn't like Ferret, did you? The big-nosed bang baby at the start who was like rummaging around the farmer's market.
It just was weird.
Yeah, he's just got a really strong sense of smell.
It could be the fact that podcast probably knows this. I don't have a great sense of smell.
To envy of Ferret. You got it here first. Mary envies Ferret.
No, but it's probably because of that, and I'm just gonna lie.
Yeah, because Ferret, it was kind of interesting how he was, how can I put it, rescued by the Joker. Read that as kidnapped and then told, hey, do you want to come and join the meta breed? I've taken over. We're going to take you to new heights. And he's afraid of the Joker. He's like, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think it suits me. So the Joker poisons him with the Joker toxin and dumps him at a hospital.
I'll say this. Ferret, better than Hot Streak.
That's a bold statement to make, because who were the villains that were there? It was Talon.
I only watched this a couple of days ago, and I just tried. I don't know what I did afterwards, but I just know that it wasn't watching.
So Talon's the bird lady. There's Kangor, the guy with the massive feet. There's Hot Streak, who we've established you don't like.
No.
And then there's Shiv, the guy with the purple hair whose hands turned into glowing
Shivs?
Blades.
Oh, okay, yeah, Shivs.
So those were the ones that stuck around in the meta breed. Now, the meta breed is usually ran by Ebon, the shadow guy from the title sequence. But he's not around. I guess he was in jail at this point, and Joker's just kind of swooped in.
Juvie.
Yeah, but the thing I would say is that Joker does have a history of corrupting people and the youth. If you look at one of his early episodes, Be a Clown, he unintentionally corrupts Jordan Hill and persuades him, or unintentionally persuades him to run away.
Oh, yeah.
And join the circus, and then he takes him under his wing. He obviously corrupted Harleen Quinzel.
She was an adult.
Yeah, sure. And then in Justice League later on, he forms the Royal Flush Gang by taking those superpowered children that the government was studying
Mm-hmm.
and turns them into playing card themed villains to do his bidding. So I think I don't think it's too much of a, it's not outside of his character
Oh no,
to
no,
do
it's not
anything
outside
like
of his
this.
character. I was just like, this is like he's starting to do that now. Like the Joker's recruiting teenagers now. Question mark? Yes. I always think that the Justice League episodes are after this in my head, and I don't know
Yeah,
why.
well, they are. I think some of them aired concurrently, but you'll notice that. Well, maybe you didn't notice this, but the design for Batman
Mm-hmm.
in this episode is not the same as his Justice League design.
It's New Adventure. No, it's Batman.
It's the new Batman
Yeah,
Adventures, sort of, but it's still a
never
little
say
different.
it. I can never say which one it is. I'm just like it's BTAS.
Yeah, but it's slightly different. So it's almost like a unique design. And Robin has got a slightly different design as well. His hair's different, and it's different voice actor as well. Fun fact there for you.
Nice, thank you.
But yeah. What was your next note?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Batman and Robin.
Yeah, they
They're
turn up.
there. They're there.
Did you think? So here's a question for you then. Did you think Batman was oddly friendly towards Static?
What do you mean?
So normally when there's like some other hero around, he's just like
I think it's because he's a kid.
maybe. But do you well, but the fact that he is a child, that
Mm-hmm.
Virgil is a child,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised that Batman didn't just tell him to stay away more. Now, okay, he does tell him to like you watch the entrance while we go into the tunnels
Mm-hmm.
because we need to make sure someone's watching our back. But that did feel a little bit like he was shielding him. But at the same time, he did leave him with an important task.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see that he was overly friendly. Maybe he just took he did his meditation that day.
Maybe I would just kind of expect him to be a bit more dismissive, especially
I
in.
was gonna say he took a deep breath, but it's Batman.
But Robin was very friendly with him as
Yeah,
well,
I
wasn't he?
love
They're
his good.
peers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh fifth wait. I'm running out of the whatever. Numbers. Um Can I use the Bat Gizmo as my phone? A friend.
For Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Mhm.
That is a very dated reference. Well done.
It was probably around the time, but
Yeah, it
like,
was. It
yeah.
was.
Almost stopped myself because I was like, "Are they gonna get it?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're gonna get
They'll
it."
get it.
Yeah.
Most of them will.
Um, and then my last note.
Well, hang on a minute. We didn't talk about the Bat Gizmo.
Oh yeah, there's Bat Gizmo that gets it lost and doesn't actually get used.
Yes, I know
Which
it's
I
kind of
know
funny.
it was. This is one of the reasons I don't like this episode at all. Is because it was so useless.
Well, the thing is. Well, let's finish your notes and then I'll get to.
Well, if your note's part of mine, you should say it.
Well, okay. So the whole thing in this story, like the title itself, "The Big Leagues," it's a reference to Static stepping up to the next level,
Yeah.
going from like local community problems with misbehaving school children
Uh-huh.
to an adult supervillain like the Joker, probably the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Um, and it's really a lot of this episode is about him struggling with his own inexperience and, let's be honest, incompetence. Like he loses the massively important Bat Gizmo,
Yeah.
as you put it, to contact Batman, so he has to
I
improvise.
don't think I'm the one that actually called it that.
No,
'Cause
you might not.
I said Bat cell phone, and then I
Crossed it out.
crossed it out.
Gizmo.
I scratched it out and was like
Yeah.
Gizmo.
And also he, when he gets in the Bat plane
Hmm.
and just doesn't know how to control it, and then Richie kind of does a Star Trek thing, saying "computer activate warp drives" or whatever,
Yeah.
and it understands him, and
That part was fine for me.
yeah, they have a little fun with it, and then almost crash the Bat
Yeah.
plane. But ultimately, he comes through in the end. He's vital in rescuing Batman and Robin from the Joker and the Metabreed. And it was funny when he turns up. Batman's like, "What kept you?" Well, I thought it was funny. Mary didn't think it was funny.
I zoned out a little bit.
Yeah. But once Batman gets free by Static,
Yeah.
Batman just basically beats up most of the Metabreed. I mean, Robin does
Yeah.
too. And it's Static that
He's
ends up
gotta
defeating the
help.
Joker. Yeah, I mean he does. He's vital in defeating the
But
Joker.
that's a good point in his journey, though, because he is trying to join the big leagues. I think they should give him a more probationary period.
I would actually say it's not that he was trying to join the big leagues, it's that the big leagues came knocking at his door.
Yeah, truth.
And he stepped up. Now, admittedly, he kind of stumbled a bit.
Which, I mean,
Yeah,
go for it.
yeah, he's a kid.
It does show realism.
Yeah, it
And that's a
does.
good thing, because having kid shows that are just always like, oh, you have a bad guy, you beat the bad guy, the story's all truly great at the end. It's so boring and it's so unrealistic. Whereas this is an unrealistic show, let's get that straight, but it's not always the best outcome, because this outcome was a crazy man, like a lunatic, came to your city, um you know kind of got a cult following with these kids, and then was doing culty things and
Stole a fire engine and welded a Joker face to the front of it.
all of these bad things, and then the big guys come in and they're like, oh, we're gonna blah blah blah, and then you help them, and then it's not the most ideal outcome, because not everybody is like happy frolicking through the forest type thing, like, oh, we're saved, and all of that. No, people go to jail, people go to institutions, all of that, and that's more realistic than just sending them off in the cage van.
I think one of the things that this episode does very well is really emphasize the difference between Static Shock and the other DC shows. Because, I mean, let's just break down what was the Joker's scheme in this episode. He wanted to get those kids on his side, and he stole a fire truck.
See, that's the thing.
That's it.
Yeah. What was like his grand scheme? Not just the scheme in the show, because this is what I have a problem with, because I'm going to put it to my neurodivergence, that when you have shows like this, and why I didn't like a lot of kid shows, is because you have your normal schemes, right? But at the end of the day, you have your grand schemes, your whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell was he thinking? Like, what?
Yeah, I feel like that this was like the underpants gnome scheme, right? Step 1, steal the underpants. Step 2, Step 3, profit. They don't have the step 2 yet.
What are we talking about?
So that's from South Park. It's a common joke with the underpants gnomes, who they basically turn up in the middle of the night and steal Tweak's underwear, and he asks them why they're doing it, and they're going, well, it's part of our plan. Step 1, get the underpants. Step 2, we don't know. Step 3, profit. So once we've got them, we'll figure out step 2, and then we'll profit. And that kind of feels a bit like what the Joker is doing here. He's like, I need to get these powerful children under my influence. I can weaponize them. I can use them.
Abuse them.
And succeed in whatever I want to do later on. What do you want to do later on? I don't know. But once I've done it, I will profit.
That's a lot of the Joker's grand schemes in BTAS. You kind of knew. You didn't have to get the full story, but you kind of got the gist. This doesn't even have the gist in it. It's like, I've come here to do something, and we're going to get there somehow, and we're going to take some way.
Yes.
To do it, And yeah, again, I'm just not the type. I need a full storyline, and this is kind of just a fractured storyline. But that's also because it's a kid's show. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
And even though Batman the Animated Series was also a kid's show, and I'd actually argue it had tighter rules in 1992 than Static Shock did in 2002. But the creative team were deliberately trying to get around those restrictions, whereas the impression I get with Static is there was less of that. They were like, these are the restrictions in place, we've just got to go along with it. And that's okay, we'll try something else.
But there was also that time, and I'm going to go off, topic a little bit, but still kind of on topic. Around that time, a lot of shows for kids were like being dumbed down. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because, people thought kids were just dumber or whatever, because I feel like things like X-Men and BTAS and STAS and JLAS.
#JLAS.
Yes, it's going to make it a thing. they weren't dumbed down. They didn't dumb things down. Yes, they took it down a level sometimes in terms of like the anger never truly got to like melt down. The sadness, it got there, but then it was quickly picked up.
Hmm.
Very quickly. But these shows that came out in that 2002, and I don't know because I didn't watch any of them, but I have, seen bits and pieces of them.
Yeah.
I literally remember walking into my cousin's room and I was asking him for something because I was leaving. I think I had like to go to a school function or something, and was watching the Disney Channel.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with the Disney Channel, but there for a moment, I think I sat on his bed for like 5 minutes, just like trying to get it. Like why? Like what is going on here? And
Hmm.
what you're not 5 years old. You can be a little bit more mature than this, even for Disney. And then you see other shows that aren't like DBZ and stuff like that. It's different.
I wonder if this is like pure speculation on my part, but I wonder if, in response to shows like Batman, Gargoyles, X-Men, um,
Gene.
yeah, or other slightly more mature cartoons of the mid to late 90s,
Mm-hmm.
if there wasn't a direct response to that where some creators came along and went, actually, do you know what, let's just go in completely the opposite direction and do something simpler, more child friendly. Now that may have been like a direction from up above,
Mm-hmm.
the studio heads. Maybe they were like really firm in this. um but it wouldn't surprise me if these kinds of stories weren't a response to things like the aforementioned more mature shows.
But the thing I have an issue with in life, and it's not necessarily with Static Shock, but you had things around this time that completely molded people's way of thinking.
Mm.
Like you had, the towers, the
Hmm.
fall of the towers. You had Columbine. You had the OKC bombing. You had so many things happening that I'm just naming three of
Hmm.
many, many things. And then you have the internet that's starting this whole new thing because it's not just in your grandma's office anymore. It's in your pocket, it's in your bedroom, it's everywhere. Why dumb things down when we have more information and we have our life has never been more real? Yet you're putting this on there. And it's not, I don't think these people wanted these you know studios wanted to have realistic shows anymore. I
No.
think they just wanted ad friendly things because again with the invent of better internet that's more you have more of it around rather than it just being in one place where everybody goes around. It's just like when you got your first color TV. um Everybody's around, but now that everybody has one, it's accessible. um because you have the internet, which is so accessible, and we have so many things we can research and all of this. I think that had a huge thing to do with it because now you have to think even more about ad friendly because you have more forum to be able to complain about it. And
Hmm.
then you have mothers and fathers and guardians and people who watch after children um complaining about this, and I just find that it ruins things so much sometimes. The thing is, if you have a show and you don't want someone to say, well, if you say you don't want your kids to watch Spawn,
Yeah.
like my mom let me watch Spawn. She had no problem with it because she knew that I wasn't going to go out and turn into a demon because I was already a demon.
Boom.
No, I wasn't a demon, but she knew that was like I knew right from wrong. Although a turbulent childhood I had, I knew right from wrong, and the things that I was seeing on a show like Batman or X-Men, I was going to see worse things in real life. Like, honestly, I was going to see worse things in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, if you don't want your children to watch that, and if you don't want the people that you look after to watch that, don't have them watch it. I know it's easier said than done, but you have to have, your boundaries and everything. But I just find, obviously, I'm not a parent, but I have been parented. Well, loosely. I just feel that it brought this whole no, I'm just gonna flat out say it. Like when I was growing up, especially at the end of my high school period, I just felt like everybody thought that they had to win everything. Everybody thought that they were number one, and everybody thought that if somebody, pushed them down, then they were able to push back and this and that because it was fair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe life is fair. But these shows are always talking about, oh, it's, this, and this. And that's fine. But I'm going on a tangent now, which is fine. But I hated that about the kids at my school. Like a lot of them were like that weren't in the groups that I was in. And it was so annoying because it's like your parents should have taught you that if you enter a competition, for example, I was in a gymnastics competition, okay? There was 4 kids.
And Mary came fifth.
No, I came 4th. I got a ribbon, and it was a yellow ribbon that did not have my name. It was a participation. And you know what I did with that ribbon? I left it there because I participated and I knew damn well I forgot to do a move. You had to do 5 moves. Okay, I was gonna do 2 cartwheels and 3 side flips. I did 2 and 2. I knew damn well when I stepped off that mat and I looked up at my mama who was laughing. And I was like, I didn't do it all the way, did I? And I knew that. But um, I just remember like some of the other schools that had like 10, 15 people in there. And you only get, um, I don't even know, 3 places in each. They all got these ribbons. And I'm like, why? You didn't like, I understand that like everybody is like a winner in some people's eyes, but that's not true. People are gonna think I'm such a bitch now.
Well, so getting back to static.
You can cut that if you want.
No, leave it. It's fine. Fine by
But
me. It's your show.
but when I look at static, I'm reminded of that. I know it's like it might seem like a stretch to think that, but that's what I'm reminded of because it's just too, I don't know, too wholesome.
Interesting. You heard it here. Mary doesn't like static because it's wholesome.
See, I wish they did more with the character outside of that show, though. Like, I wish he was in X-Men more because that
X-Men.
character, not X-Men, I'm just because I'm watching X-Men at the moment. Um, Justice League, because I think like they could have done a pretty awesome Justice League in the future, spin-off of that.
So you might like some of the other crossover episodes of Static because the Justice League turn up in a 2-parter, and there's a crossover with Green Lantern that's quite good.
I do love Green Lantern. Anything that Green Lantern is in, that Phil Lamar's Green Lantern, Jon Stewart is in, I'll probably watch.
Well, I'll tell you what, maybe the next time we talk about Static, we'll talk about that episode.
In about 5 years' time.
So next week.
In 2 years, I'm good.
Okay, well, to get back to the episode a bit, I
Yeah.
did like at the end. I don't know why, but I really like the visual of what the Joker was doing to that fire engine he stole. It's got a big metal Joker face on the front. It's it's so absurd in a good way.
Yeah.
It's a callback to like those 1960s comics. There was like a Joker train and the Joker mobile and stuff like that.
And all
Joker copter, yeah. I can't remember. Now, this is. They didn't actually say what they were going to do with that fire engine, did they?
They didn't really give any clue on what was going to be
Yeah.
after that.
So he used it. He did use it because he turned up dressed as a fireman, didn't he?
Hmm.
Um, God, how this is how bad my memory's getting. We only watched this the other day, and I've already forgotten half of it.
This is the thing, right? This is one of the realistic things about this show is I know of at least three people that would have actually done that in real life
Hmm.
and would
Yeah,
have not have like would have just like left it in the middle of like the street on Air Depot.
but there's a nice. What I was trying to get to is there's a nice image of the Joker furiously driving this fire engine at Batman. Batman gets out of the way, and Joker just like drives through all of the machinery in the factory they're in and crashes into the wall. And then he plays possum, pretending he's wounded, reaching out, going, "Please help me," with his joy
Mhm.
buzzer, and it's Static.
Liked that part.
Yeah, it's Static's hand that
Hmm.
grabs him, and he thinks he's electrocuting Batman, but really he's just charging up Static.
Yeah, I
Who's
liked
like,
that one.
"Oh, that was fun. Here's my version," and he then shocks the Joker, much to Batman's amusement, which is pretty dark, actually.
Oh, I just realized why this feels manic.
Yeah,
It's like someone's manic episode.
yeah,
I can relate to this because it's this is the Joker's manic one of the Joker's manic episodes.
mm,
Literally. Because there is no rhyme or reason for why he wanted to do that other than there is a reason, but he doesn't know yet. And he
yeah,
might not know, but he still wants to do it. Do you
yes,
know what I mean?
yes, I do. Yeah,
I don't think you've ever had a manic episode, but
no,
it's very as someone who has seen people do that and it's it's not as fun as it looked on this.
no, I bet
Okay.
it's not.
It's definitely not. Okay. It's but it did remind me of that. Um because the Joker seems quite happy, is including people, you know, that will do anything for him and this and this and then completely just goes balls to the wall.
Yeah, one of the things I liked about this actually is that not all of the Metabreed members are actually all that on board with it. Like Kangor's like, "Are we sure we should be
Yeah.
doing this? This
This
doesn't
again,
seem safe."
again, this is why it reminds me of one of those episodes because it's people are questioning it, but they're like, let's we're gonna play this out.
Yeah, I mean, Hot Streak's very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, let's go along with it.
Yeah.
This is us stepping up to the big leagues." So I suppose the big leagues title has got a double meaning because it's the Metabreed feel like they're moving up to the next
Yeah.
level. In reality, they're not. They're still goons and henchmen,
I
and
think
it's
I like this episode more now
um,
that I have a different like idea of what it is.
oh, that's good. But I think you're completely right that it's not a sophisticated story. It's not like multi-layered, and that's no shade on the people that
No,
worked on
of
the
course
show.
not, because there's some brilliant,
Yeah, because
brilliant people that worked on this that
yeah,
were awesome.
yeah, a lot of the people that worked on this show also worked on the other DC animated universe
This is
shows.
part of the studio age, isn't it? That's what I like to call the advertising age, where it's like, you know, the studios are getting in there, like, put the Joker in there. We can sell this. Do you
Yes,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
this will
Put
get more
Batman in
eyes on
there.
there. Batman
Yeah.
needs to cross over, even though they're not connected in the slightest. Make it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truck in there. We might be able to make a toy out of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe they would. It's a shame because they didn't really make any Static toys at all.
It's a shame.
Yeah, missed opportunity there.
Mary Mears has a new title. Mary Mears, not a hater of Static Shock, loves Static Shock, but does not like the show.
You like the character of Static.
Also, Mary Mears,
Hmm.
not a participation person.
Also talking about herself in third person.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that is pretty much it.
So, well, one final question for you then. So you started out saying you don't like this
No,
episode.
I still don't like it, but I don't. I see it in a different light, so it makes a little bit more sense in my head because I've made it make sense.
Yeah. And the thing is, not every show needs to have depth and, be rich with subtext. But it is a little odd when you take these characters that are normally in, quite deep stories
Mm-hmm.
with subtext and meaning, and then just put them in something where it's like the Joker wants to steal a fire engine. All right, that's the scheme. He wants to steal a fire engine.
Yeah.
Fair.
But sometimes you just want to drive around in a fire engine.
I've never had the urge.
No, neither have I. Neither have I. I have never, unless there was a dog on it. And then I'd be like, can I just take a ride?
Yeah, you just want the dog then, wouldn't
Can
you?
you drop me off the Hollywood videos so I can make it to work by 9? Yeah.
Okay, any other thoughts on it? I mean, you've written something there about Batplane must have a lot of
Oh,
fuel.
yeah. My last and final note. I don't think the bat plane must have a lot of fuel because it's always there. It's always going. It's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it can fly 10 million miles on a full tank.
And nobody hears it.
No.
That's all. That's my
That's it.
note.
That's all, folks.
Yeah.
All right. All that's left to do now is to talk about what we're going to be talking about next time. Do you want to tell us, Mary?
What Big Mikey P's been reading.
What? And ruin the episode of Totally Schway Flipside where he describes what he's been reading, what he's been watching.
What was I talking about the other day when I brought up that I was like really excited to see like what was on his book and film list?
I don't recall.
Oh, I think I was talking to your parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's if they know.
Yeah. But no, it was so yeah, you tell everybody.
Oh, me? Oh, okay, fine. So we're going to talk about some of the 5 darkest moments from Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, our 5 darkest moments.
How are we going to divide that? Are we going to come up with a combined list, or am I going to suggest 2 and you suggest 3, or vice versa?
How about I do 2 and you do 3?
Okay. All right, make me do the hard work.
No, because I have a feeling that one of them we're going to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks...
I definitely think one of them we're going to share.
We'll have our lists and go, we've got exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys again for listening. This has been a bit of a I don't know, awkward one, I guess. I don't know.
Scattered.
Yeah, scattered one, which is kind of like what my brain is at the moment, which is fine. Sometimes it'd be like that. I don't know who used to say that to me all the time, but they got it online something. I hope you guys are having a good week. I know it's rough out there at the moment for various odd, terrible reasons. But just remember that you always have us to come to and listen to, and like you could zone out listening to me and my BS. So in case you need a moment to, disassociate. I just really want you guys to know that each and every single one of you are my friends, and I do think about you guys. Case in point, this time about Big Mikey P to my in-laws. And I think they thought it might have been like, oh my God, Mary has a friend. Yes, I actually have friends. I have a couple hundred of them, actually. Nearly 3,000 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, wear your sunscreen, drink some water. Don't forget that vegetables are good, and don't eat too much fruit if you're a diabetic. From experience. Love you guys. Goodbye.